Reaction time is a factor in this, so please pay attention. Where do you live?
I don't see why you need to know that.
What do you do for a living?
That's a stupid question.
Just calibrating the machine.
So the test hasn't started yet?
Not yet. What's your name?
Dektora?
Just Dektora?
Yes.
A man dressed in rags approaches you on the street and asks for money.
I'd give him some, if I had any to spare.
You're crying. Why is that?
I suppose I'm unhappy. Perhaps someone has died. I don't cry very often.
Out of the corner of your eye, you see a large black spider crawling up the wall.
Spiders frighten me. I'd call animal services and keep away from it until they arrived.
Are you taking any drugs?
Absolutely not. Do you think all dancers are drug addicts?
For your anniversary, your spouse gives you a real goldfish.
I cherish it, of course. I've never had a fish, only insects. But fish can be beautiful too.
You return from work to find that your home has been burglarized.
The burglar would be very disappointed.
When did you stop beating your spouse?
Next question.
Using the first words that come into your mind, describe your childhood.
Unhappy. Shorter than it should have been.
You notice someone attractive across the room.
I'd approach them.
You're having a very erotic dream.
Anyone in particular?
It's not important.
Of course it is.
Just answer the question, please.
I'm sure I'd enjoy it, if that's what you're asking.
You're suddenly very afraid. Why?
Do you mean what makes me afraid?
Answer the question.
I'm afraid of dying. And of spiders. Your questions. They're disturbing.
They're meant to provoke a reaction. Your best friend has done something to make you angry.
That's vague. I'd confront him about it.
Your best friend is a guy?
Almost all my friends are male. Is that part of the test?
No. It's the first day of school and the teacher calls on you.
I'd do my best to answer the question.
How old are you?
35.
Describe in single words only the good things that come into your mind about your mother.
She did the best she could.
That's not a single word.
All right. Aggressive. Powerful.
Your child comes home with a black eye.
I'd ask him who did it, and I'd call the boy's mother.
You suddenly feel the urge to commit suicide.
No, that's ridiculous. I wouldn't.
A teacher calls you stupid in front of the rest of the class.
I'd stand up to him.
What's the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you?
Probably this test.
No, seriously.
Yes, seriously. Are we finished?
Almost. You're 7 years old. You managed to steal several marshmallows from the kitchen and sneak them back to your bedroom. You're caught, and your father spanks you.
I don't like marshmallows.
Pretend you do.
All right. My father wouldn't spank me, and I won't pretend that he did.
You've been drafted into the Army. During a boot camp hazing, you're bound, blindfolded, and forced to eat worms.
That's disgusting. Do they really do that? Worms are so expensive.
It's just a hypothetical situation. You're having dinner at a friend's home. Halfway through the appetizer, he tells you that you've been eating goose liver pâté.
I'd leave.
You wouldn't report him?
No, not if he was my friend.
You're visiting the dentist. At the receptionist's desk is a huge bowl of fresh-cut flowers.
I probably wouldn't do anything. It's not like he has pictures of dead animals on his wall.
Still, it's illegal to pick flowers.
I thought this test was to determine whether or not I'm a replicant.
It is.
If I need a civics lesson, I'll go back to school.
You see a documentary about 20th century tuna boats. At the end, you feel like taking up fishing.
How can you say that? I've had enough. These questions. You're sick.
Stay right where you are. You pour yourself a drink. Every time you finish one, you have another until you vomit. You wake up hungover and depressed.
Speaking from personal experience, Mr. McCoy?
Answer the question.
All right. There's nothing to do but wait for the hangover to pass.
You're giving a speech to a crowd of hundreds. First, one person starts to laugh.
They wouldn't be laughing.
He leans over and says something to the people around him. Soon the whole audience is roaring with laughter and pointing at you.
I told you, they wouldn't be laughing.
Why's that?
That's not the reaction I provoke in an audience. You should know. I saw you out there, hiding in the dark with the rest of them.
I ain't the one being tested.
When I'm in front of an audience, I'm the one who's laughing. At every pathetic one of them.
You're watching TV. Suddenly you notice a wasp crawling on your wrist.
I've never seen a wasp. I've heard they're lovely. I'd try to capture it. Then I'd call animal services and register it.
In a magazine, you come across a full-page photo of a nude girl. The girl is lying on a bearskin rug.
I turn the page.
You're given a calfskin wallet for your birthday.
I'd report the manufacturer.
You have a little boy. He shows you his butterfly collection, plus the killing jar.
I'd take him to a psychiatrist. I'd talk to him first.
You're at a restaurant with friends. One of them orders lobster. The chef drops the lobster into the tub of boiling water while you watch.
I'd leave, and I'd report the restaurant to the authorities.
You rent a mountain cabin. On the walls, someone has hung old maps and Currier and Ives prints. A deer's head is mounted above the fireplace. A full stag with developed horns.
Why would anyone hang a head on the wall? It was a different time then, wasn't it?
You saying that makes it okay?
Of course not.
You see an oversized book with pictures of exotic animals on the cover. The title is Big Game Hunting in Zaire. Curious, you flip it open. There's a picture of a man standing with his foot on a dead Cape buffalo. You find yourself fascinated. You keep paging through it, seeing picture after picture of animals laid to waste, each more gruesome than the last.
That's not true. I'd burn the book.
You've been kidnapped. Your captors tell you that you'd better think about what you did to deserve this.
What kind of question is that?
Just answer.
I won't answer that one. I have no interest in feeding your sick fantasies.
What do you think it's like to be a replicant?
How would I know? Scary, I suppose.
You're going to die. It may be soon. Death. The grave. Rot. It may be soon. The readouts don't lie. You're scared. Don't worry. I won't tell anyone.
Now I know you don't write these questions. You don't really expect an answer, do you?
Got one. Thanks. You're in a desert, walking along in the sand, when all of a sudden you look down and see a tortoise. It's crawling towards you. You reach down and flip the tortoise on its back. The tortoise lays on its back, its belly baking in the hot sun, beating its legs, trying to turn itself over.
Is this going anywhere?
But it can't. Not without your help. But you're not helping. Why is that?
I am so helping.
Went off the scale on that one. Yeah, you probably are helping.
See? I told you I wasn't a replicant.
We're not finished yet. You're watching an old movie. It shows a banquet in progress. The guests are enjoying raw oysters. The entree consists of boiled dog.
I'd walk out.
You're on a farm. You get into the pen to feed the pigs. In their excitement, the animals knock you down into the mud.
In this outfit?
Using a butcher knife, you slit the throat of the nearest sow. You're covered in blood as you stumble to your feet.
My God. You're insane.
I just read 'em.
I've got to get out of here.
Stay right where you are. Like my briefcase? Department issue. Baby hide. 100% genuine human baby hide.
That's horrible.
Positive result. Subject is human. Test terminated.